So it is no secret that the job market has seen better days, and if you're unemployed, you might be tempted to take any position you're offered, but no matter how desperate you are, there are certain red flags that you should never ignore during a job interview. Here on how to know when not to take the job is employee engagement consultant Chester Elton. Chester, thanks so much for joining us. I love this because this is, you go on the job interview and you're filled with hope. You're like, this is it. I could see myself at this company. I've been looking for a job.
My dream job.
Right.
That's right.
But there are some things that happen, and it's happened to all of us when you go on the job interview, that are red flags that you should just flee.
Absolutely.
Number one, the person interviewing you says bad things about the person who had the job before you.
This is so key. It tells you a lot about their culture. The way that you welcome people to the job says a lot, but the way you say goodbye, I think, says even more. And if as soon as someone's out the door, everything is their fault, and you badmouth them like crazy, that's a big red flag, because you should be thinking, well, at some point, I may leave this job.
Right.
What are they going to say about me? And is that the kind of culture I want to be, where people talk about each other?
Another one that I saw on this list that I wasn't totally sure about was the interviewer is really late to your interview. I mean, it's possible something really important happened. Why would that set off warning bells for you?
Well, you're right, and you're wrong, right? It's one of these things where if they're really late and lackadaisical, it shows they don't really care for your time. You're not that important. Now, if they show up late and they go, hey, sorry I'm late, this, and this happened, I'm so sorry, then it's not so bad. But if they don't apologize and they just kind of saunter in and they're on their phone, and
that's happened.
It's a little different.
It's different. You sit down, they haven't even reviewed your resume, that they're basically reading it for the first time. That's actually happened to me a number of times, where they're like, oh, you worked at such and such. And I'm like, really? You're just seeing that now?
Oh, you're a man. Yeah, that kind of thing, right?
Not to me, they didn't say that, but okay. Yeah,
exactly. But that's the thing. They call you by the wrong name. They haven't taken the time to just do a little bit of homework. Again, it talks about the importance of you and the job, and it's a bit of a red flag. Absolutely.
They could just be really busy. I mean, it could be a really busy company.
They could be, but, if they brought you all the way in and they're interviewing you, they should know just a little bit about you. So is it a huge red flag? Maybe not, but if a couple of them start to stack up, then
does it seem maybe that they're not serious about the position? That they're not eager to really make the hire, that maybe you were just brought in as a favor to someone to sit down and have an interview?
Well, that's it. Like, you're really eager to get the job. Are they really eager to hire somebody? Or is this kind of a favor to the friend who said, show up and mention my name?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Now, there are green lights, too. That you want to look for, like if you have really good ongoing flowing conversation and you're laughing, and after the interview you feel really good about it. Those are green lights as opposed to red flags. But there are things you need to be aware of.
No, great point. Also, and this one's a little, they ask you personal questions, like trying to figure out if you're married. I mean, for a lot of women, they say they fish around and try and see, so you're married, do you have kids yet?
Yeah, are you planning on a family kind of thing? Yeah.
But it's legitimate that an employer would be wondering about that. Is it bad if maybe if they come out and they just straightforward ask you that they're, trying to make, why is that bad?
Well, I think it's the tone of voice, and I think it's the experience. Like, it's, hey, baby, you married?
Well,
then
there's that, right? But then, setting that aside.
If they go really deep, if you start to feel uncomfortable, I think that's the relationship. If the probing questions start to make you feel a little uncomfortable, it's a red flag. If not, if it's just kind of casual conversation, hey, we're a real family-oriented company. Do you have kids? How old are they? Or what are they? That kind of conversation, I don't think is a red flag.
Do you feel like if they're trying to feel you out to see, because a lot of women talk about this, and this was a big point for Sheryl Sandberg. She got in a lot of trouble saying that you should be able to ask on an interview, like, are you planning on having kids soon? That it's just for an employer to gauge that. Is that right or wrong?
Again, if it makes you uncomfortable, it's a red flag. If it doesn't make you uncomfortable, if you're proud of your family, and then again, if you are planning on having kids and whatnot and taking some time off, that's a good thing for you to tell them, because you don't want to surprise them either.
No.
You want to be candid.
Right, I think so too.
Yeah.
The last one, a company that has a toxic corporate culture, you should always be wary. You can't think you're going to change it. If you go to Glassdoor.com, that sort of thing, and you see that people are generally unhappy, you think you should not take the job pretty much no matter what?
Well, it depends what level you're coming in at. If you can come in as the CEO and change the culture, great, but most of us aren't going to be that level. Yeah, talk to people that have just left and go online. What did they say? Again, the way people leave a company says a lot about their culture and how healthy they are. If they've got a lot of churn and a lot of turnover, you could just be the next one in the washing machine.
Well, thank you so much. This is really important, because at this time, people are desperate. They kind of want to take the jobs that come along. But as you said before the interview started, then you're just, 6 months or more behind because you start a job like this and it doesn't work out, and there you go.
Right.
Thank you so much, Chester. Appreciate
No,
your
pleasure.
time.